Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is another episode of HCT Live with Matthew Ford, coming to you from Evansville, Indiana, with another episode. Tonight's episode, we're going to talk about Bill Gates. Who is Bill Gates? Well, if you don't know who Bill Gates is, what rock have you been living in under all these times? Bill Gates is the richest man on earth. But before he was the richest man on earth, he had a rough childhood, just like most people do. He got kicked out of his high school for hacking into computers. And fortunately for him, he was so smart that the high school called him back and asked him to work on some software for him to help the operating system run smoother. A few years later, Bill Gates took his genius to Harvard. He enrolled in Harvard University, not knowing what he wanted to do with life. He figured, hey, maybe I'll just be a lawyer just like my dad. Well, that's not good enough for Bill Gates. He read an article in a magazine called Popular Mechanics about computers. Well, he called up the company that was featured in that article called Alter and told them that he had a software that he would be interested in selling to them if they would be interested in buying. Well, he really didn't have no software written up yet, but that's Bill Gates for you. He's a hustler. Well, fortunately for Bill Gates, Alter actually was very interested in his software that he has written up, technically. He really don't, but so what does Bill Gates do? He calls upon a close buddy of his, high school friend of his called named Paul Allen, and they took a software program and basically twisted it and basically did a basic remap of the program and sold it to the company for $3,000. Well, Bill Gates ain't no dummy. He kept the copyright from the software that he sold called Basic, because he knew that it would be worth a lot more money, a lot more than $3,000 in the future. Well, he was right. Then in 1976, with that money that Bill Gates and Paul Allen made off of that software, that $3,000, Bill Gates started up Microsoft. Well, we all know what Microsoft is, and it's based on all your PCs. Any PC you log into, it's Microsoft Windows. So, I mean, this guy was very smart. Obviously, Bill and Paul also made a deal with IBM to produce an operating system for its PCs. Microsoft Windows was Bill Gates' biggest contribution. Their vision was to have personal computers on every desk. Look around, people. It worked. Every household, even the poor people in the world, has computers, and they're mostly Microsoft computers, or running the Microsoft software. Now, almost 40 years later, you can find Microsoft Windows in almost every household and business. Even with the competing from companies like Apple, Windows is still the leading software company in the world. So there you have it. Little insight on Bill Gates and how he got started. You know, see, everybody's childhood was not perfect. But it goes to show, don't give up on yourself. If you have a dream, you live that dream. Bill Gates had a dream, and now he's the richest man on earth. So there you go. It just shows that hard work, dedication, and long hours, you can be something in life. Again, this is Matthew Ford, coming to you live from Evansville, Indiana, with